Hi everyone. Like I mentioned on the group, I'm working with Lucky Ducks. It's one of my favorite stem set. I think they are so adorable. I brought two of the cards I made with them at the release so you would see. And I like having them like different colors also. I think it's fun. Just have to make sure I can see your comments. So just give me a second to see that. Here we go, so I can see your comments. Allô Lynn, ça va bien? I don't know how many people are there. Just the one so far. Hi Janet. I didn't put any colors like for colored pencils down. I did pick some because I'm trying to fit it with some paper I'm thinking about. Ça va super bien, merci. So I'll just show you, like, I did that one. You quack me up. Those are magnolia paper that I bought a while back and I never used, and I thought they were perfect for this little set. And I also made this card, which I got the sentiment from Wild World. It's about like baby and stuff like that, so I thought it was perfect. So the world just got cuter and like he's blue and stuff like that. So just leave him there. What I was thinking about is I'm making a little family of ducks going in a row, and obviously as you can see it's gonna be a slimline card kind of card. Hey Kim, that's good. Wow, awesome. Yeah, I usually don't get notification. I miss everything right now. So that's what I was just looking, like showing the two cards I made with the Lucky Ducks. And I figure it's been about a month for the release. So people that order it, like, but that got it obviously like before it ran out, but it's back on stock. They should have it home. So that's why I decided to use that set. Plus it's so adorable. I don't know if you can notice, I'm just gonna zoom in a bit if I can. There you go. Yeah. Okay. This little guy, I didn't want him to look the same way. Like I didn't want him to look back also. So I kind of like just didn't stamp the eyes. Like it's easy enough. You just take a Q-tip or something like that and just swipe the stamp, the part of the eyes off. So if you remember, that's what the stamp set looked like. So I use 4 different one, like the mom, and this one is twice, and then these two. And I wanted, like, I think that the paper is so cute, honestly. It's perfect for baby. And I have a little girl one. So that's what I want to match, basically. So I took like pinks and greens, and obviously I'm gonna make like a yellow duck also, but I'm gonna be using hi Carola, a couple of pink ducks, probably a green and 2 yellows or something like that. So what color do you think these should be? Like, I mean, like I said, I have already picked, like, so that's like my pink, like a dusty rose, more like it. My green, I tried to like to match it as much as I could with the paper, and obviously yellow, right? So now, like, I won't put all the colors there because like, they're gonna be in my way. And what I did is, sometime when I'm not too sure about my combo, I just take like a little scrap of paper and I kind of do it. Like the pink, I did like a couple till I was happy with it. That's for the beak, a little bit of orange for the water. So just did that. So if you want, we can start. And like I said, do you have any do you have any particular, like, which one you want, what color? Do you want the mom to be pink or yellow? Or what I can do is I can start with all the beaks, because I like my beaks orange. That's just me. And yeah, they are back in stock. I know, it's the most fun set ever. I'm just trying to get my wire out of the way, my way. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you like the color I'm using, my combo for orange. I'm using pumpkin orange for the darkest color, Canyon orange hue for the second, then orange, like all the ones labeled like with the purple, they're my like 35-year-old set, and then yellowed orange for the lightest color. I just sharpened them all like really a lot, which I think it might be too much, but we'll live with it. And when you color, you have to make sure you know where your light is coming from to know what's the lightest like part or not. So in my head, the mom is going towards the sun, so the sun would be coming this way. So everything on this side would be lighter, and on the other side would be darker. So I'm just gonna start with her beak, and the little feet would be also like orangey. So I'm not pressing hard like it, and I know I'm gonna twist a bit. I'm trying not to hide what I'm doing too much. So very light pressure, because if you press too hard, what's gonna happen is that you won't be able to blend with the other color. Like Paula was really good at blending with mineral spirit or whatever it's called, but I don't do that. I just don't know. And really nice to have a brush, so like that you can, like, instead of using your hands and then just smearing everything, so just do that. So that's my second color, Cadmium Orange Hue. So I'm just going over in a little circle the previous color I did, again, like barely putting any pressure. And I'm using, like, the paper I'm using, I get it at Michael's, and it's actually called like Strathmore, but it's for colored pencil actually. And the reason I use that instead of I could use like just plain normal white paper, it's a little bit easier, like you have a little bit more grip. So that's orange, like, by the way. You have a little bit more texture into the paper. So what happened is it gives you, it's a little bit easier to blend, I think. And also, a lot of the time what I do is I do the background, like either the sky or something like that. I do them with watercolor. And if I use just plain white paper, it won't work. But this accepts watercolor really good. Last color, the lightest for my orange, it's yellowed orange. So, and just going again, like I'm going over the previous color a bit, and little circles, right? And then I'm gonna fill like the rest of it. And you can even leave like a little like white spot at the top, like a reflection, and that's perfectly okay. And then I go like a second coat, so apply a little bit more pressure. Some people leave the white showing like little dots. I don't like that, so I tend to not do that. I hope you can see properly and you can hear me properly also. It's just funny because you always feel like you're just talking to yourself when you're doing those live. So, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a line of darker one like at the top, because it would be like, it's just to mimic like the edge of the row. I'll just zoom a little bit more. Here we go, so you can see really good. Okay, thank you, Janet. So now I'm going back to that was the darkest, so pumpkin orange that I did a second coat. Now I'm going with the second one, so cadmium orange hue. So going over the last color, little circles, and making it a bit bigger. And then orange. And don't forget, your homework is to tell me which duck is what color of the three I gave you, like the green, the pink, and the yellow. And I mean, you can color obviously with me. And then the last yellowed orange. And usually that one I put a little bit more pressure because like it's my last color. And I'm lazy. I don't like doing like 3 coats, so I try to cover the white, like the little like pores of the paper, basically, like that. Oh, really, Kim? I didn't know that. Which one do you want pink? Like, mommy is number 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm probably gonna do 2 pink, 2 yellow, and 1 green. That's what I think. And what I do a lot, like I'm sure, like technically, like point of view of an artist, Tamara, it's probably not the greatest. Like I'm not an artist or anything like that. But what I do is like I start in the middle of that white there, and then I extend a bit so it stays white, and then I kind of like press on the fiber of the paper so I fill those white, but it mixes the other color at the same time. So that's her nose. Number 2, the little one. Okay. Yeah, but what I mean, Kim, is I'm not like artistically, like I don't have study or anything. Like, I mean, I learned how to fix aircraft, so not exactly the same thing. I'm more of a technical kind of girl. So now just redoing the same process for the other duck. I'm gonna do the same way. So that's the second color, cadmium, whatever, orange hue. Third color, orange. And also, if you prefer to see me like color with other colors, like not do like, if you prefer that I just like color a whole duck first, one color, and then instead of like seeing me color all the beaks, that's fine too. Just like mention it to me. So, because you don't want to see me paint like orange all night. Well, I mean, you might. I'm not too sure. And when I see that the blend like works really nicely, I have a tendency of maybe pressing a little bit harder because I know it works fine. Like it worked great on the first one, so that's why this one's gonna be faster. It's gonna be have a little bit less white also. And then I'm sorry, I'm not saying each color like every time I'm switching it. And then a little bit of white. And also like it softened the edge, like putting the white. So since I don't get any comments, I'll just keep doing my orange. That's how I do it. I usually do one color, all of it, and then I go to my other color. So, whoa. And I might have like at some point a really needy kitty coming. My husband left, but it's only been 2 weeks, like he's deployed. And that cat is usually, you do that too? Awesome. He's usually like fairly cuddly, but I don't know, he's like even worse than usual or better. Like I love a cuddly kitty. So second coat again, so I'll start with my pumpkin orange. And then cadmium orange. Oops, sorry, I was like kind of out of frame here. Then orange. And I'm doing kind of like little circles. And then my yellowed orange. And a little bit of white. So the two little stragglers. One is so lazy, didn't even get off his butt. Imagine that. And there's like a little bottom part of his mouth here, like of his beak, I think. Like the like his mouth per se. I'm gonna color no problem. I'm gonna color like a pinkish red, but below it, it looks like his beak also. I don't know, I don't have like ducks or anything. I'm a city girl, so I didn't grow up with ducks, and I didn't go into the bandwagon of getting like ducks in your yard and stuff. I like eggs, but maybe not that much, and I would like maybe I'm hiding my head in like what do you call it, ostrich or whatever, but I don't want to, like, to me they're like babies if I actually see my hen lay eggs, so I just buy them at the grocery, so they're just eggs or cake, you know. So that was the darkest, just for a minute. And then cadmium orange, then orange again. Oh, I should have done his little like legs at the same time, kind of forgot about it. Oh well. And then yellowed orange. So what I'm gonna do is I just gonna do his little like legs and like all like the beak and the legs of the other dude beside him, her, whatever. So just okay. Are you getting sick yet? So I just want to see his little like toes or palmy thingy. You can see my like anatomy, duck language is like really technical. I'm better when I was like fixing aircraft, like for language, technical language. And a good thing, like I never, like all the times like I was posted, it was always like in English province, well basically not in Quebec, and we spoke like English at work, and I swear like the terms of some of the like jargon, like the some of the words that we use in like technical words in French are horrible. Like they're so long. For example, like one of like I think the worst one was a flap on an aircraft. In French, it's volet hyperstentatoire. So it takes like 2 days just to say the word. So even in French, we would say flap because like it's just easier. So that was a pumpkin orange. That's a mineral cadmium orange something or other. Cadmium orange hue. So that's like obviously all the same colors. So I'm repeating myself a whole lot and telling like stupid stuff at the same time too. I'm just going like over, like that's really little, and you see I kind of messed up here, but I'm gonna fix it. Like, because if you don't go too dark, like too, you don't press too much, you can like kind of go over it. Aren't these little feet of that one so very cute? Yeah, I know, Kim. Like, you buy the same book in French and in English, and it's gonna be thicker in French just because like there's so much like extra like words, and a lot of the words are bigger, like, or they add a bunch of letters. Anyway, like I'm happy to speak French and to be French, but sometimes I think it's very complicated. Like I'm happy I was born, like I grew up French, so I had to learn English, which was easier than trying to learn French. I don't know if that makes sense, or I'm just rambling. Ground technician, electrician, and fixed planes in Trenton. Oh, did he now? So he was a IE tech. Yeah, I know. Like the first 10 years of my career in the military, I fixed aircraft. It just happened I was on jets like the whole time. And then the last 10 years I was flying on helicopter, like different job. So I was operating the radar, detecting submarines. Well, practicing detecting submarines, doing a bit of SAR, like search and rescue and stuff like that. So the job was like different. I didn't fix aircraft at that point anymore. Lots of fun. So that's orange here. Again, like just going a little bit further. And Trenton, like I've been to Trenton, but I never was posted. Right now, like I'm out of the military, but my husband still is. Oh, you see if he's deployed, right? And we're in Petawawa in Ontario. And last color, yellowed orange. So I'm gonna try to fix my boo-boo here. So in his little like pod duck palm thingy, I'm trying to leave the middle a little bit lighter. And anybody, like, you can jump in and correct my awful terminology or English or anything like that. So going back again with all the colors, so that's the darkest one, the pumpkin orange. You're in Ottawa? Awesome. Like, if it wasn't from COVID, it wouldn't be far at all. It's like about an hour and a half ride. But I haven't been, actually I haven't left the town since a while. I think everybody's in the same boat. Because like the closest Costco is actually in Ottawa, so yep, I haven't been in Costco in a long time. But that's nice to know, like Janet, like when the world's going to be like somewhat normal or something, like we can do stuff or whatever. Even like, I don't know if you go to the retreat, like when we gonna be able to do a normal retreat, like in-person retreat, I mean. We could even like drive part the way there. I mean, I don't want to invite myself or anything, like I'm just saying. Orange. It's funny because like if it was like a real conversation, I would be like, awkward silence. I think I just pushed myself onto you. And even using like the same color, you can get different results just with the amount of like lighter color you use, darker color. That's what's nice, like, and you can do it. I'm just adding like white again. You only heard about the in-person retreat. I can't type that fast now. Well, especially if you're trying to color also at the same time, it would be hard. I'm lucky I just like blab, so whatever comes from my brain, no filter whatsoever, just comes out. And I don't have to type. Okay, so that's the orange done. And now, okay, Kim said number 2, so number 2 is here, pink, but I want to make, like, I have 2 pink at least. So anybody else? I'll start with that one. Oh, I'll tell you my combo that I use. No awkwardness. Okay, good. So the darkest one is mahogany red, then clay rose. Oh my gosh. After that, it's pink rose, and then deco pink as the lightest color. Oh my. So number 2 and then number 4, yellow, pink, green, pink, green. Okay, cool. I'm good for that. So mommy yellow, then pink, then green, then pink, then green. So that means dad was partially green pink. I would say he was pink with a green polka dot. That's my story anyway. I'm sticking to it. So under her wing would be darker, right? Because cast a shadow. Like all behind the wing would be a shadow. Like obviously close to the water would be darker. So, and that color is really dark, so I want to put very little pressure on my pen. So this little tail. The back of his head would be a little bit darker just because it's further away from the sun. And just to frame his eyes, I like to put like a little bit of like darker behind, like under, and under the beak would also be darker. And I'll just do that little line. So that would be that one. And I wonder, okay, so yellow, pink, green, pink. So I'll start that one too. So this little dudette, little girl, under the eye again darker, under the beak, And I know I'm like I'm flipping my paper, so actually like I'm trying not to hide what I'm doing. Under his wing. And his little tail. Like when there's like little like kind of feather, I try to like highlight it. Well, not highlight it because I'm using the shadow, but to emphasize it. So that was mahogany red. Now I'm doing clay rose. So with little baby girl here. So over it again, doing a little round. Just over what I did and extending a little bit. It's almost like a purple pink kind of color. Like that. Oops, the other girly girl here. So extending the color again. And I prefer putting a little dark at first, and then if I think it's too light, then I can like fix it. Then I'm going to pink rose. So it's a big jump between the two colors, and I think that's the one, the second one. So you really have to go over like both colors that you already put down. I don't know if you can see good. And don't put like too much pressure either, because you want the color to be able to blend. And I like those little ducks. Like they're so whimsical, and it's nice because like you can do a quick card and you can just pick one duck, make a smaller card, have a nice paper that matches with it, and you're done really quickly. And they're so cute. And I think they're great for like many different occasions. And as long as you don't put too much pressure, you should be able to blend like most colors, honestly. And we're gonna use the last color. Oh, Janet, yeah, it is practice. Last color is Deco Pink. I know it's all about it. Like, I know when I was little, what I would do is I would go like super hard on the edge, like really hard, and then I would go like the lightest color inside. That was my way of doing things. But now I have to, yeah, find that sweet spot. Sometimes, like, it depends on the pencil also. I'm using Prismacolor Premium. I didn't mention it, I should have, but sorry. Basically, I just put like the light pink, the Deco Pink over everything. The rest, right? And we'll do a second coat after. But yeah, like, you just want like super light pressure. Oh, she was running away, we couldn't see her. And I have one cat that woke up. So I'm back with mahogany red. Thank you. So, and sometimes when I want a detail, or like here, the line, I'm just gonna go like put a lot of pressure there. Under the wing, I'm putting medium pressure, but I want it to pop. So I'm gonna put a thicker line there. Like I felt that it was like kind of disappearing, and I'm good with it being darker. You have to be happy with what you do. That's the important thing, right? And it's easier if you put less dark at the beginning. You can adjust than putting too much at the beginning. And like if I was like a quote, air quote, a true artist, like you could actually go and check like how the reflection of the water on the duck would do and everything like that. But honestly, I'm kind of too lazy for that, and they're so whimsical that I think it doesn't really matter if your shadows are not exactly where they should be. But anyway, like I have pink ducks, so I don't, at that point I think we're past what makes sense, so I'm good with that. So now I'm with the clay rose, extending those colors again. And I think I'm less stressed today, like doing a live, because like they're just so whimsical and cute that even like if I screw up, it doesn't really matter because like they're cute. So that's pink rose, and it's funny because those colors I barely ever used. Like I never used that combo before, so but I kind of wanted to match the paper. And honestly, like I have more practice, like experience with Copic, so I have like all my my combos, and I know exactly what color like fits with what. And with the pencil, like I always have like a little bit of a harder time. But I find that it's easier with pencil to get fine detail, because like you can get the point like really sharp. So, and now that's a deco pink, so going over the last color. Oops, and I kind of forgot the other duck. Like, and when you use white with another color before, make sure that you wipe it with your finger, because you're gonna get like the orange. Thank you, Patricia. You're gonna put the orange in the duck, in the pink. So now I just like wiped it, and I'm just going over the lighter spot. There we go. So that's number 1 ducky. Now I'm gonna do the second coat on ducky number 2 or number 4. And we could have done like some texture, but they're cute that way, right? Okay. I'm gonna have a visitor probably soon. I'm sorry, my belly's crumbling. So clay rose now, next. I don't know if you can hear, my cat is drinking from my water glass. Well, I'm not drinking from it, but oh my gosh. Can you hear him? It's crazy. And working that like between the second and the third color is a like really big jump, so just working at it. A little. You can hear. I know it's crazy. He's done now, but yeah. I'm surprised he's being very good today. Usually he always makes an appearance. Yeah, I know, he's thirsty. Crazy. Like, they have water bowls and stuff, but no, like, a glass is so much more interesting. So just going over. And a little... The toilet. Maybe she thought she was a dog. Maybe. I leave the toilet seat down because I don't want that to happen. So, but yeah, I think it's because it's probably fresher. Like, especially the toilet, like, the water is probably cooler than like the bowl on the floor or something like that. So that's my two little pink chickies. So now we're gonna do the yellow. So Mommy, Dearest, and the little straggler that's too lazy. So my combo is sienna brown. You can totally use like different colors, obviously. Oh, Neil, hi. Hi, Rona. That's a goldenrod. After that, sunburst yellow. Jasmine. And last but not least, deco yellow. And I know there's a lot of reflection. Okay, so I'll actually do all Mummy first. It's gonna be easier, and then after the other one because he's like way at the end. So obviously under his eyes would be, and that color very, very light because it's brown and the other ones are yellow, so sometimes it's a little bit harder to make them, not the switch, but to blend them together. So I just want to see that, like the feather here. And again, like it would be darker where it meets the water. Under the wing. And that's further away from the light. Same thing with the back of her head. Under her beak. And let's leave it there. So now I'm going to goldenrod. So going over everything I did and just extending it a little bit. Carrie Boucher is really good for explaining how much pressure putting in. I watched a few of her live and she's like, okay, you put about 10% pressure here, and I'm not really good at describing it that way. She's awesome. And you would think with like my technical background I would be better at like putting percentage and stuff like that, like I'm a number girl, but for that I think it's my way to get away from like all that stuff I did for such a long time. So now I'm going to Starburst Sunburst Yellow. So going over everything I've done and extending it. I don't know if does anybody like is coloring at the same time? Sorry, just turning it around. Under. Sometimes it's hard because like, oh, I forgot to say, like I stamp with the, oh my gosh, I'm horrible. Just a second. I'll check the name of the color. Sandy Shore. I love Sandy Shore. It's like a light brown. It's darker than the other one before, but at least like it can kind of blend. I'm watching to learn, but I plan on trying it out later this week. Oh, awesome. So that's Jasmine. Yeah, so I use Sandy Shore. I really like it. Like I have a hard time with my eyes sometimes, so I can see it, but at the same time it can also blend with the colors. And I like it for like animals and stuff like that. For people, I use a lot. Oh my gosh, today I have like a brain fart for everything. The peach one, can't remember the name. All day packing orders, so I'm trying to catch up with some stuff in plan. Oh my gosh, Kim, you're always so busy. You have so much to do. It's insane. And then I'm going to go with the, yes, Party Peach, thank you. With Deco Yellow. Yeah, my brain is like, today is not there. I think like because like my husband's not there, so like I talk to my cats. That's it. So let's say I'm not mentally challenged much lately. And I think we always have the same discussion, the cats and me. It's like, no, not the counter, not the table, not everything. Hey, Chewy. And we bought automatic litter. Now I'm starting my second coat with all the colors. So I start with sienna brown. And one cat is going and the other one isn't. So now I'm still stuck with two litter. One stinks up to all hell because like I'm trying to win and have him go in the other one. And yeah, so we're having like a really nice time here. And it's like pretty close to my craft room. So super interesting. So we talk a lot about poo and pee. Sorry. In the litter, obviously. So someday I'll win though. You went once in the automatic litter. It's pretty sweet. My husband called it the space pooper. It looks like a huge like ovni thing. Like UFO, I mean. Just so funny. I hope I don't have anybody like squeamish or stuff like that. Like that's one thing in the army, like we have we talk a lot about that. We don't like, it's a common subject. Everybody does it. I mean, not in the litter, obviously. Oh, and I don't know, like it I'm sure it doesn't just happen to me, but like sometimes your the lead breaks, like in your pencil. So what I do, because like I hate wasting anything, so what I do is I actually super glue it. So yeah, I super glue it when it breaks, and then it works actually. So if you're tired of having your lead like break, just super glue them. And also I heard, but I didn't try it, but you can put it at super low temperature in the oven or in the sun. Like, and because it's wax based, Prismacolor is wax based, if your lead is broken inside your pen, it might help. The oven though, I would be leery, because yeah, you do it like a little bit too much and you're just gonna melt your pencil. But I wasn't saying, like, that was sunburst yellow. I'm going to Jasmine now. So going over everything with like more pressure. And then Deco Yellow. Flaming pencils. Yeah, really, Carla. Oh, I know. I can't wake him. Oh my gosh. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm happy I'm most of the time like an introvert, and it's okay, like, to, like, I'm fine to be at home alone and stuff like that, but it's those kind of things, especially, like, I know it's gonna sound silly, but when we're doing the live, I think it's the worst, because like I'm talking to myself and I don't have, like, I have a bit of feedback, but it's not the same thing as being all together and having like a blast and just kidding around. It's totally different. So doing the white, and I always like go like that before I use my white, because it happened too many times when I started that I would have like orange in my green, or anyway, like, you get the picture. So that's Mummy Dearest. And then we're gonna get a little Lazy Bum here. So again, that's Sienna Brown. And you could, like, you could use totally, I think it's burnt ochre, but my burnt ochre I use a lot with my skin, and it's going shorter, so I'm trying to kind of make my combo, so I'm using my pencil a little bit more equally. Not that it really happens, but I'm trying to. Would be a little bit darker behind his paw thingy. What do you call, like, paws for duck? Flipper? No, I'm not too sure. And I want to see that, like, his little arms, so I'm pressing like harder, because I don't want to lose his arms. I mean, then you wouldn't be able to like fly if you didn't have like arms, right? Just like that. Then I'm going to Goldenrod. Feet, web feet, feet. Okay, feet's good. I guess paw is not really what I should call it. And I know, like, my goldenrod, I'm gonna have to like super glue it, because I can feel it. It's totally loose. But if I remove it, like right now, I can have a hard time putting it back. I think I broke that one quite a few times, and I keep like super gluing it. The cheap tricks of Brigitte. Super gluing your pencil. Jasmine. I know I'm not calling for Aladdin's girlfriend or anything like that. It's the color of the pencil. And then Deco Yellow. And second coat, just starting again. So, Sienna Brown. And that's like good for like any medium. What makes an image pop, like regardless that it's like whimsical or realistic or whatever, is the contrast between like light and dark. I know exactly, Janet. And so you want to have like dark shadows and you want to have like your lightest color to be light. So there's contrast, like you can see the difference. And I started like you know, like miniature painting, like those little like plastic thing. And I started doing that, and I'm watching like a gazillion YouTube video about that. And that's what they keep saying, like you have to have eye contrast, so super high like dark shadows and super light highlight. So sunburst yellow. So that's what I tried to do. And I'm sure like quite a few in the group is taking classes with Kit and Clowder, with Alice from Kit and Clowder, and it's the same thing. Don't be afraid of putting those darks, right? Jasmine. And then Deco Yellow. No, the pencils are not cheap. It is cheaper than Copic, especially at first. Once you have your Copic, and usually the minute I bought Copic, I bought the refill that got with it. So they lasted like, I mean, I have for probably, I don't know, like 100 years or something of Copics, but it costs a lot. For those, it's just like you have to rebuy, and depending where you are, it doesn't mean that you're gonna find the color you want. Like one, you might have to buy another kit, which is like kind of annoying because you might not need all of them. So I'm just adding white here because I want his belly really bright and white because he's a little baby. That's why he's so lazy. Okay, so green. So for this little dude, so my combo, I'm using kelp green, then lime peel. Oh my gosh. After that, it's chartreuse and yellow chartreuse. So, little guy that doesn't have any eyes yet. So I'm using this one really lightly because like it's kind of off of the other color, like the tone a bit. So to make it easier on myself, I put like even less pressure than the other colors. And there's wing again. The only place I'm gonna put it a little bit darker is like that little feather, just like that. So that was kelp green. Now I'm doing a lime peel. So little rounds again over that color and extending it. So see, when you do it super light, it's easier to blend. Now that's chartreuse. And usually that would be the lightest green I use. But because I wanted to keep it really soft, I have like an even lighter color, and I mean not white, but like another color beside that. So that's the yellow chartreuse. So it has like, to me it has a little like a green tinge to it. So putting a second coat. And once again, that I'm putting a tiny bit more pressure than earlier, but not much. And under that wing a little bit darker. Just like that. Now I'm going lime peel. Going over. And for some reason I always have like hard time with my green combo. Hi Sheila, how's it going? So now I'm going with chartreuse. And I did print Alice like from Kid and Cloud or list of combos, and the greens I'm not loving it. I'm not loving them. Like I have a hard time blending them. So like I said, like this one is a new one for me. So, and then yellow chartreuse. And I'm gonna use a little bit of green, of white, I mean. So that's little green ducky. So now we're gonna do the eyes of our ducks. So I'm using warm gray. With animals, I have a tendency to use more warms than cool. Cool I'm gonna use for like ice, like a snowman and stuff like that, and like white clothing, stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go over very lightly, and I suck at doing that usually. Just so, like, basically I'm trying to make the brown disappear, like from the sandy shore, and the beak will give some shadow to that eye ball. And at the bottom would be a little bit, but very lightly. Then I'm going to 30% gray, warm gray. And I'm just going a little bit, very lightly. And that's the only, usually when I'm doing white, basically, it's the only time I don't completely go over it. Like I just do one coat, which I should do both eyes. If there's a little like white, I can see the grain of the paper, I don't care. That's fine. I don't want it a solid. So that's 10% warm gray. So over again, because it's going to be too dark So that's why I do only one coat of gray, like basically of white, of my combo for white. And I'm just checking my other cards how I did that. Okay, so that's one eye. I'm gonna do the eyeball, not the eyeball, but the pupil. I'm gonna do with actually a dark black multi-liner at the end. So again, over like the beak will put a shadow, and his other eyeball would put a shadow. So that was the 50%, so 30%. And that's fairly quick, like I say, because I only put like the one light coat. And I think I'll do all three at the same time. Again, shadow because of the beak and the other eyeball, and at the bottom. And I said I would do all three, so just like that. They're so expressive. I think it's amazing. And the shadow would be on this eyeball, this one, because as you can see, like the complete roundness is here, so that means it's over the other one. And he would have a shadow over his beak there too. So that's 30% here. So I'm just extending a little bit. I mean, I want to keep their eyeballs like mostly white. And then the 10%. And if you feel that you put like too much darkness, but like you put very little pressure, by putting a lighter color on top, you can not erase it, but mute it like a lot. So that's what I do, like sometimes if I feel I put too much. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my white and I'm going to go over the edge of all of them, like what I just did. Oh, and I have a couple, one mouth to do too, I forgot. All your ducks in a row. Yep. I do. It doesn't happen too often, but I do. Okay. So I'm gonna do his mouth before I forget. So I just want I'm using permanent red. It doesn't really matter. Like I'm just using a little bit of red, and then I barely put any. I don't know if you notice. And then I'm just gonna put it with the white, so it's gonna give me kind of a little bit of a pink, just like that. Maybe put a little bit more at the bottom where the shadow would be hidden by the beak. There we go. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna take my multi-liner. It's 0.3. It doesn't really matter what it is, like, honestly. And I'm trying to trace what's in it, like what Netta, like the artist, did. So usually she has like a little bit of highlight in each of the pupil, so it looks like almost like a little like triangle. But if, and usually I screw up like now, or what I can do is like, what's the easiest part is you just do a round and then you add the highlight after with a white pen, white gel pen. And like I mentioned, this one, I didn't put the eye because I didn't want him to be like looking back. So he's not, because he's looking towards the future. If you want to add like a white highlight, wait till your black is dry, because I've done it and I smeared all over like everything. So what I want to do is like, there's a little like hair or something, so I'm taking the darkest color and I'm just adding those just to put like little like kind of feathers sticking out. So I'm just following the lines already there. Like that. And then I'm doing the same thing with all the colors. Here we go. Like that. And for the yellow, and that gives them eyebrows too. And my cute little slow poke here. There we go. And for the water, basically, I'll just try to zoom out, which I usually have a hard time. Oh my gosh. I can always zoom in, but like after that, oh my. Okay, not working. Sorry, and I know what to do, but for some reason, like my hands are a little bit like damp because I'm nervous, so my phone doesn't want to do it. Plus, it's an old phone. Like right now, like if I lose you, is because my phone died and I don't have batteries anymore. Oh no, gosh, that's not what I want to do. Oh my gosh. Okay. That didn't work at all. But anyway, you can see a really good close-up of... Okay. I swear I'm really trying. I don't know if the buttons actually zoom in like on the side of the phone. Thanks, Kim. I know, Carla. It's just like, it's the finger thing, because, yeah, really, eh? Oh my. Now it's worse than it was. Okay, I'm gonna move everything. It's just like, whoa. Not like I'm all tangled. It's crazy. Not gonna make you really sick. Ah. There we go. And you see my really messy desk here. You weren't supposed to see that. Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you, Tamara. Okay. So what I'm using for the water, I'm using cobalt turquoise, parrot green, light green, and a super light gray green light. Yes, they were flying away. Thank you, Kim. What I'm gonna do is, like with super light, I'm gonna use the lightest one. I'm gonna map this a bit. Obviously, like I want to join like kind of those two lines, just like that. Like I don't think you can see much right now. I'm using that color so I can fix it. So right here will be like basically that it's gonna be like dirt or sand, and that's water here because he has kind of his paw, he's going in the water. So I'm gonna take my cobalt turquoise, and again, like it's kind of dark for water, so I'm gonna like go very lightly. And I know it doesn't look like lightly because you can see it really well, but I barely touch the paper here. And here it would be like always darker under the ducks because they're creating shadows in the water, right? So I'm just putting like a little bit larger of a shadow under. Now I'm going with parrot green, and it's a very turquoisey color, so they're kind of like in the ocean, even if I know like ducks are clean water, like freshwater animals, but it doesn't matter. It's a really clear river or lake or something, or they're in a fountain. I don't know. That's the like the color I wanted. Now I'm going with light green. And yes, Kim, that's what happened. Totally in a pool. And now I'm going with the gray-green light. And because it is kind of dark, what I'm going to do is I'm going over everything like that. Like I'm going to blend the edge, like first, like with the light pressure. But after that, I'm going to go over everything and basically make it my second coat with that over it. because I don't want to color the whole thing. It's just to put a little bit of color basically. And you probably won't see that card finished till, I would say, about the July-ish, because I have something special to do with those ducks. So basically I'm just like muting the colors with that light one. Just like that. And now I like to like put little dots like that represent like dirt or something like that under his feet. And because I won't blend it, it doesn't matter if it's a little bit like the pressure is a little bit darker. That's my sienna brown. I could have taken any brown. It's just that's the closest. Like that. And after that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take just the greens I used. So I'm gonna use kelp green here, and just going a little bit over, putting little dots also. And I like putting a little bit of grass. So just putting blades of grass, but don't put them the same length or the same direction. And also, yeah, it was a underground pool, not underground, whatever. So that's why like it went from the sand to the pool, like, you know. Now I'm using lime peel, and this time I'm not dotting. I just want to put like a little bit of color, just like I did with the pool. And putting blades of grass again. And then last color, chartreuse. Thanks, Lynn. And going everything and extending again. Grounding them does make it look finished, right? For the sky, I'm gonna probably do it like with watercolor, very faint. I hate coloring sky, especially with either Copic or pencils. It's not my best. And I'm putting a couple of blades of grass here too. I think I just want to put it a little bit darker though. And I'm very like kind of random when I do like the grass and stuff like that. Thank you, everybody. like Sheila said earlier, that's all my ducks in a row. So I hope you liked it and you learned something, or if you didn't, you like had a good time anyway. If you have any question, you can always, well, you can ask now. I'm here. Or you can always leave a comment and I read them all. Thank you, Kim. It does, like, it's a bit bright for water, but I mean, with the funky color, I think it just looks... And you're welcome, Janet. Thanks, Kim. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Sheila. So let you go to your supper best... Well, actually, you know when you say, like, your better half? We're the better half, so the other half is the worst half, right? Anyway, and also, since he didn't make a show up, I'm gonna do a close up of my kitty. Chewy, say hello. Anyway, I'm too close. So that was Chewy. Yeah, Kim, you should eat sometime. Try it, it's good. Okay, so good night, everybody, and thanks for being with me. So have a great night. Bye.